Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 13 of season 3 of The Flash, Attack on Gorilla City. And this was a pretty good episode, all full of good comic book craziness. Um, there was some stuff with the subplots I wasn't super wild about, but let's just kind of get right into it. So first things first, in regards to the whole subplot thing, I just wasn't really feeling the Wally Jesse thing this episode. I mean, I'm glad that they did it, and now we're going to have Jesse around on Earth One, which is great. You know, she would be a really valuable thing to have in their arsenal in taking on Team Flash. Taking on Savitar. So cool then. And I totally want to see more of Jessie and her, doing the speedster thing and seeing how her, how she does as a hero compared to I guess her heroing style. I suppose is probably more like what I'm going for here, as opposed to how Wally and Barry do things. In a way, Jesse's kind of an interesting hybrid between the two of them. Yes, she's very much a younger person, but she's also someone who comes with, sort of that scientific mind, like Barry has. So she's an interesting middle ground between the two of them. Of course, on the other hand, Barry is still also a pretty young guy, and Wally's not exactly, a slouch in the brains department either. So it's a pretty interesting situation there. But like I said, I didn't really much care for that little subplot, although Jesse's interactions with HR were pretty hilarious, especially when he was sort of being a dick and ended up like, oh, wow, I really stepped in this. I'm like, and he had such a sweet line. I'm sorry I took that smile away from your face. For all his flaws, HR at his core is a pretty decent guy. And that was a very nice way of putting it. I remember hearing him like, yeah, that's a pretty sweet line. I should remember that. Although in all fairness, I don't think I'm quite suave enough to really pull that off. But you never know. Anyway, the whole thing with them going to Earth 2, and taking on and rescuing Harry Coolhall. Of course, they've got Tom Felton, who's been in Planet of the Apes movies before, so of course they had to reference Planet of the Apes, and then making fun of his Indiana Jones clothes. That was really cool. And it does feed in nicely to his whole growing relationship with Caitlin. And I really did like how they were very quick to point out to her, it's like, look, if you kill somebody, well, especially Julian, if you kill somebody, this really will push you over the edge into becoming Killer Frost. So it kind of makes you wonder, well, what happens if Caitlin accidentally should kill somebody? What would be the final thing that would push her over the edge to becoming Killer Frost again? Because if that doesn't happen this season, it's going to be really boring, so of course it has to. But I do think that a lot of this is Julian really is kind of realizing, like, despite how badly we got off to a start, it's true. She really is somebody who actually gets this emotional place that I'm in, with all of like, oh my god, I'm me. I'm this person that I consider to be a good person, and I want to try and do good in the world. But I'm also kind of like have this part of me that's a supervillain that's done a lot of damage. And it does seem a bit hasty, but I can kind of understand where Julian's coming from on this one. And I really love his whole response to Caitlin's like, "You should fear me, Julian." He's like, "Okay, yeah, let's go get a steak and we can be afraid of each other together." No, again, it's so cheesy and yet it works. It hits just that right emotional beat that it feels real. So points to the writers on that one. Cisco got that really great moment where he kind of pointed out, like, look, if you guys kill me, Grodd can't get to Earth 1. And everybody, of course, is really willingness to sacrifice his own life for the greater good. That was cool. And again, that does speak very well of Sisko as a person. Now, I suppose people like me who are pretty familiar with the comics and have read more than a few Flash versus Gorilla Grodd stories, of course we're going to be familiar with Solovar. And here on the show, he seems, well, in the comics, Solovar is at the end of the day a very good guy. I mean, he's genuinely basically like the good leader of the gorillas. Here, he's really like, yes, yeah, you trespass, so we're going to have to kill you. But here, if you really think about it, it's really not malevolence, it's just simple pragmatism. It's like, look, we've got a line in the sand, we've made ourselves very clear, rules is rules. And you kind of imagine what kind of a situation the girls are probably in. Probably, as we've seen, less than stellar relations with humans, basically kind of putting that line in the sand, saying, like, look, you stay on your side of the fence, and we'll stay on our side of the fence. And as long as everybody does that, we're cool. If you guys come here, we're going to effing kill you. So, again, it's a very... Well, the term that comes to my mind is sort of medieval pragmatism. If you look at a lot of things that are from the past, yeah, of course they're really horrible and things that we wouldn't approve of for various reasons. But one also has to keep in mind that people in the past didn't have access to the knowledge and resources and simply time to meditate on various social ideas that we benefit from. They, like we do, did what they had to do with the information and knowledge and resources that they had under the circumstances they found themselves in. And undoubtedly that led to some pretty terrible stuff. But when, needs must when the devil drives, right? Anyway, I did totally love the fight in the arena. The people on the show even said we really worked hard to kind of make sure that we would have some extra money in the budget. We kind of more or less found some creative ways to cheat on the special effects in other episodes so that we would have the money to really go nuts with this Gorilla City story. And, oh man, I mean, there's definitely some weak moments of CGI here and there, but for the most part, oh man, this is going to be awesome as hell. I mean, the fight with Solovar in the arena was really badass, and I love Barry ultimately having to adopt a trick from the Reverse Flash's playbook. Man, I so want to see Barry throw down one more time with Eobard Vaughn and just sort of see what happens. I really do have to say, Reverse Flash in the CW universe is my favorite villain because he's just such a bastard. But a good teacher. I mean, Barry said that Vaughn was the best teacher he ever had. Grodd even mentions what a great teacher his quote-unquote father was. And of course, this all leads us to the gorilla armies wearing their armor just like in the comics, and Grodd in control, very obviously, of Gypsy, who I'm going to assume is the Gypsy of Earth-19 for whatever reason. Now, how she got there, we don't know, but I'm sure Grodd is smart enough to figure something out, some way to lure Earth-19 Gypsy there. So, he even points out, it's like, okay, I need somebody else who can warp between realities just in case things don't work out with Sisko. And, plus this is just like Earth 2 Gypsy for whatever reason. She's not going to have any connection to Sisko, and thus it's not interesting. So we'll see how that all plays out. Definitely did like the plan they used for getting out of the cell, although it's just like, really, Grodd? You're not gonna just crush Barry's skull just for the hell of it? I don't know. I mean, that was a little too easy. Plus, you'd think somebody as smart as Grodd was like, yeah, if he died not that long ago, he wouldn't be so cold and so blue. again, apparently in this universe, Africa is filled with pine trees, and people walk around wearing, winter jackets and knit caps. Sorry, I just cannot bring myself to call that type of hat a beanie. Okay, to me, a beanie is those old hats from the 1950s with the propellers on top. And, I'm not Canadian, so I can't call them a tooth. Stocking cap just always sounds weird to me. I mean, when I was a kid, I called them a toboggan hat. But that's just kind of something I picked up from my mom, because she's from, Appalachia, which is that's a thing. In Appalachia, they call those type of hats toboggan hats. God only knows why, but I gave up trying to figure out the ways of hillbillies long ago. Okay, so now that I've rambled horribly off topic, this is a good place for us to wrap up. So, as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and please join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer, and you can also find me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi. Until next time, take care.